Back. Today, this is the third part of What If Luffy Was in One Piece? What if Luffy was in One Piece? He is in One Piece. He's the main character of it. What if Luffy was in Beyblade Burst? Specifically Burst. Now, if you haven't watched the first part or the second part, go watch that now. Actually, you guys haven't watched part 1 or 2, go watch that. You guys ain't gonna know what's happening, man. You don't watch part 1 or 2. If you watch part 2 and then come to part 3, you're not gonna know what happens in part 1. So go watch part 1, then 2, then 3. I know it's gonna be a struggle since they're so long, so I'd rather for you guys to watch part 1 in one day, then next day watch part 2, and then part 3 right now. The next day after you watch part 2. So I think that's what I'm recommending, because honestly, these parts are going to be long, and this is going to be the longest part. Well, no, one of the last parts is going to be like the longest part, which is going to be the next part. The next part will be the last part. So part 5, yeah, part 5 will be the longest one. Will be the last one, since I want to cover everything else. Part 5. But you know, guys, you gotta wait for that video. You can't just instantly want it already. I know you guys want to get to a conclusion, but you gotta know what happens to part 1 and 2 if you want to get yourself caught up. So go watch those 2 videos. I'll leave them in the description below. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave part 1 in the description below, and then go to part 2. So yeah, do that, guys, now. But please like and subscribe. You know, guys can't comment. I'm just realizing that. So. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, guys, who were picked in the team. Now, the team is 5 people, which is pretty large, but it's the rules. So the 5 people who were picked were Free De La Hoya. I'm gonna do the voice acting. So, Chris said after the exams, they said, okay, today who will be picked for the European tournament is the captain. Free De La Hoya is already going to be in the team. So we need 4 more players. 4 more people. And we've already selected 4 bladers to go to the European tournament. It is Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy as the co-captain. Yes! Zoro as another blader in the team. I knew I was going to make it. Vault as the next contendant. Yes! I did it! And Rantaro Kiyama as the last blader on the team. Yeah! I knew he'll do it! And all the 4 were screaming, yay! And 2 people who got it rough. It was the guy with his brown hat. He was the friend with the guy who hated them. Hated that they were on a team. So, yeah, I forgot to cover that in the last episode. Now, the team that they were fighting was named Top 1. And they were from Germany. Honestly, I like their team flag, but I'm not going to freaking screenshot it and show you guys. No, I'm not going to do all that work. If you want to know what Top 1 is, just suck Beyblade Burst Evolution Top 1 team. And you'll find their team flag, their team players, and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah. Season opener. European League. Okay. When you saw that last part, just don't mind it. I did that because I wanted to do it. So every episode we get through to do the opening of it, and then try my best to accent the English version of Luffy. If you don't know what his voice sounds like, just search up English dub episode 1 One Piece. Well, no, maybe not that episode. A lot of people didn't like his voice in the first episode. Just watch an episode of One Piece on Netflix if you can, or on Funimation or Crunchyroll. I don't know if Crunchyroll has the English dub of One Piece, but just try to find an episode of One Piece, but not episode 1 through 300, because honestly, the English dub during those times were pretty bad. No, just 1 through 100, don't watch those episodes, because the English dub is pretty old, because that's 1999, 2000-ish. But, yeah, so they were showing the team. They were showing the 5 bladers. Luffy, Free, Free, Luffy, Vault, Zoro, and Rantaro. It was technically in a category. It was technically Freemy in the top, and Luffy being above Vault, but Vault was below them. I'm just kidding. It was Vault, then it was Zoro, then it was Vault. So it was Luffy, Zoro behind, Vault behind Zoro, and then Rantaro behind Vault, but also another guy. So Silas, that's what he's below. So yeah, he can't get higher than Silas until he gets better, but which he hasn't got better at all. So don't matter right now. Now, the thing is, they are showing who top 1 splainers were. So let's get to this episode now. As Trad was hitting up on his iPad, on his tablet, he said that, okay, so we're going to review who were the bladers on top 1. This is top 1. It's Kuza Ackerman and 4 other guys. Kuza is not the team leader, but the strongest on the team. He has something called Ultimate Attack Mode and Ultimate Defense. Wait, yeah, was it defense? I think so. Was Ultimate Stand one open? So be aware, these attack powers and defense powers are strong. And this is top 1's other bladers' Beyblades. Luffy said, okay, we can take them down, obviously. They're not that strong. Azor said, they look weird. Especially that clown guy. Walt and Rantaro were like, oh man, we're about to battle some heavy hitters. And Free was like, okay. And if I didn't say the Kuza Ackerman's Beyblade is, it's Ultimate Cognite. So here you go. So I just figured out it was Ultimate Stamina. And I meant to say that on statics, when Trad said, I just said that'd be very casual. What Trad said is that being on stats, Ultra Cognite is the one to fear, as he has Ultimate Stamina and Ultimate Attack. And Luffy Vault said, okay, I got that in my brain. Vault said, okay, noted. And Rantaro said, wicked. It was the opposite, actually, but that doesn't matter. Luffy said it was in my brain. Zoro said, okay, gotta keep that guy out. And yeah, obviously all the others. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna make the simple part. Okay, we're gonna make this part simple. Obviously, this is not about our bladers or our buddies. So this part is gonna be pretty freaking simple. So, obviously, Kuza's performing for the crowd. He's a performer. He's a gymnastics type of guy. So he was on the rope. He said, okay, watch a battle. And then a guy named Carl, his little parrot named Carl, just came down. And all the kids said the cutest. And he said, well, I'm the cutest. I'm the cutest. And he was going to perform a Beyblade trick. So we launched his Beyblade on the tight rope. He jumped on the tight rope. His Beyblade launched in the air. He was backflipping at the same time grabbing his bay, landed on the rope, and he was good. And then all the other 4 people were like, Goose is having a good time, huh? Yeah, I guess so, you could say that. And the 2 people, which we know from the anime, were like, oh, well, it's crazy for him to do this, but it is his thing. He is a born performer. And he built up a balloon, and he made it for a kid. And he said, are you going to watch our little battle tonight? And he said, yeah, totally, and I'm going to bring my puppy. He left, and he said, looks like another guy's for a performer. And he said, I'm born for this. Can't wait to battle those people. And then, Kuza. Oh yeah, if you watch Attack on Titan, you see Ackerman. That's because Beyblade had no other ideas. And this was made in 2017, so I don't remember when Beyblade. Wait, I don't know. I'm not even gonna compare that. Nope, never mind. So yeah, Okay, let's just get to it. Kuza starts looking out into the cafeteria, and he saw Vault and Luffy, Rantaro, and Zoro eating. Luffy was eating his third tray. Now Zoro was finished with his, and let's just say that Rantaro, or we want to call him Honcho. I'll call him Rantaro because it's pretty easier. So Rantaro was literally like still eating as Vault was, and they're talking. They weren't eating, they were battling. Well, it was Honcho and Zoro weren't there. It was just Luffy and Vault battling each other in different stadiums, trying their Beyblades to work properly. The parrot was looking, and he saw Luffy's bay. He was like, "Rat, shiny, rat," and he went inside in the Coliseum thing where the bladers were battling, where Vault and forgot. Vault and oh yeah, Vault and Luffy were training, and he took Luffy's bang. And Luffy said, "Hey, what are you doing with my Beyblade?" And he was running really fast, and the parrot was starting to fly, and Kuzo was trying to chase the parrot, while Luffy was trying to chase the parrot. Okay, so Kuzo was chasing Luffy while Luffy was chasing the parrot that had his Beyblade. And Luffy was like, "Hey, give me my Beyblade back!" He's going in the cafeteria where Honcho and, not Honcho, Rantaro. Well, they're both the same people, so not that matters. Well, Rantaro and Zoro were eating lunch, or snack, I think. And they saw Luffy running for his Beyblade while also following in, and Zoro helping Luffy to get his Beyblade, asking who took it, and then he looked up at the parrot. He was running on the tables trying to get to the Beyblade. He grabbed the parrot, and the parrot started falling, but the parrot kept on flying until he dropped the Beyblade and went to Kuza. And people was like, and then Luffy was like, "Hey, wait, is that the battler? Isn't that the guy we're battling?" "It is. What are you doing here? And why are you here?" Because they went outside. Forgot to say, they went outside. They went to the entrance of BC Solar's, and then, yeah, they saw it. And Kuzo was starting to do a backflip, and Vault said he could do that, and then Luffy said he could do that. He did it, but Zoro said he couldn't do it. So Kuzo kept on training him until, yeah. And then Honcho and Vault catched up and said, "What you guys doing?" And then Vault joined and Zoro trying to do a backflip. Same thing with Honcho, but Honcho gave up and then left. And they kept on doing it until they got it. And yeah, that was the end of that. And then the tournament started. And then they had a memory of two people they care about. Luffy and Vault were trying to, while they're training, Luffy and Vault remembered something from both of their friends. Luffy remembered Shanks going to a different place when he was in Beyblade Burst. Remember regular Burst? Yeah. So this is the dialogue. "Shanks, don't go! I thought we were gonna train, become better bladers." I know, but I have to go. I do have a team on my shoulders, you know. "But come on, you can't leave, not yet. I still don't know how to even launch a Beyblade." "I know, Luffy. I'm sorry. I still have to go somewhere. I'll be back though. Be stronger than ever. And you promise me." And he put the straw hat on his head. "You promise me you can become a stronger blader. The best blader around." And Luffy started crying. And Shanks said, "When you become the world's strongest blader, bring back my straw hat. It means more than me than anything. And that's a promise. I can't forget this move! Shanks, am I ever going to become the world's greatest blader? Well, Walt remembered going to America, and he said, I can't believe I lost to Louie. Walt said, you're going to America? Yeah. To train, become a better blader. But there's no explanations I can give. Get me out of this decision. I've made up my mind, and that mind will stay up. I'll make sure I become stronger. And you too, make sure you become stronger. That's a promise. Okay. See you in the finals. And Walt said to himself, I hope she's okay. He hasn't given me a single message yet. Not a single letter. But that's okay. I'll make sure I keep that promise. Become the best blader around. And yeah, that was that part. So, now it's time for El Astro. Welcome to the legendary Beyblade Stadium of BC Seoul. And today, we're here for the battle between BC Seoul and BC Seoul and BC Seoul and another team. I forgot the other team. Okay, so yeah, between those two teams. Now, just to say something. Okay, so it's between those two teams, and let's just say that let's just say that European team will be up. So they're walking to the stage, and they're gonna give a good handshake. Luffy was about to handshake Kuza, but Kuza knocked back his hand. And Luffy said, what was that for? Kuza looked at him like a dead stare, and he said, but I thought we were nice to each other. But this is a battle anyways. And he looked dead-eye into his eye too. Actually looks like he was actually using Conqueror's hockey. And it got Kuza intimidated, but it didn't matter. So they went to their respective places, and Free said, the go first is Luffy. You go first. Huh? Me? Why me? Well, I obviously know they're gonna go for Kuza first, so we can get the first round over with a first finish so they can win the first point. So go first. I know you're the most capable on this team. You are co-captain anyways. So do your best. Whatever you say, Free. So he puts his bay logger in, and he scanned himself as being the first contender and the second contender, and the first contender to fight Luffy was Kuza. So they both walked towards the stadium, one giving the dead stare to the other. Yeah, if you guys realize, I have better at art. both giving each other a dead stare. No, this battle was going to be the epic battle that Luffy's been in. They're about to start their battle. Okay. You know how this works. Ring out and spin finishes. 1 point. A burst finish. 2 points. Now, let's do this. Ready, set, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Kuza did a backflip when he launches. Let it rip! Luffy saw him doing the backflip, and Luffy thought that was cool. Crazy. Oh yeah, Sanji and Silas were in the team. They were substitutes. And they're pretty mad, but Sanji was like, okay, let's do this, Luffy. Silas like, I wonder how this kid is gonna battle. Let's see anyways. So they started the battle with each other. And Kuza went for his ultimate stamina, so he went to the center. And Luffy said, okay, ultimate stamina. I see. Let's do this. Let's start this off with a Gum Gum pistol. So he did a Gum Gum. He did a classic Gum Gum pistol. He pushed the bay back, but went back to the center. Like a classical Beyblade. So, Luffy did Gum Gum Stamp. Kicking his leg forwards. His bay jumped onto the sides, pushed itself towards the bay, and used its bottom to kick, and he kicked it back, but still went to the center. Huh, you got some crazy moves, Luffy. I never knew you had these type of moves. Kuza said, and Luffy was frustrated. So, he did a Gum Gum Axe. Which Kuza could not defend himself since it was from above. So he launched his bay in the air, and he went to on the rims. While the bay was on the rims, Luffy was really surprised he could do this, also like him. So Luffy said a Gum Gum Rocket, and he went to the rims too. While Kuza was speeding around the rims, Luffy was starting to catch up. Okay, let's hit him with the Gum Gum. And he knew something was about to happen. Luffy threw out both of his arms back behind him. He planked his palms out, and he was about to do a Gum Gum Bazooka. Before he did it, Kuza's Bay Ultra Kong Knight jumped in the air, and he dodged the fast bullet bazooka. And he was surprised. So Luffy made his bay turn around into circles, like an actual circle, like his bay tip goes in a circle. And then he says, Gum Gum Rifle! And he does the circle thing on the bay, but still dodges. So Luffy was tired of this, so he said a Gum Gum Jetpack! And he launched his bay in the air multiple times and pushed it back, and he kept on doing it until Kuza did a move where he pushed his bay into the stadium while losing a lot of stamina. And Kuza was about to do an ultimate move. Before he does the move, sorry, I'm eating right now, so before he does the move, Luffy says, okay, so you know how Beyblade burst? when somebody yells out his Beyblade's name, the Beyblade spirit comes out and does this weird movement. Pause. That's what Luffy does. He's like, wait, Nika! Now his Beyblade spirit, Nika, comes out, does this weird movement, and ends up with his base Beyblade like that. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. So, like, you see how this base Beyblade, yeah, it keeps like that, and his legs are like this. Okay? And his arms still stay like that, and he's holding his staff and burning. And this hand right here is doing this. They like imitate somebody. His big muscles. But yeah, that's what he's doing. And now he could start saying igniting pistol or igniting rifle. And he adds his gear second. Gear second! And his Beyblade starts steaming a lot though. And he says, and then Kuza does his thing, and he says, do not give up! Hold strong! Calm night! And he does the weird movement. You have to watch the anime to know what it is. He does that weird movement, and then, yeah. Literally, Luffy does igniting jet! And Kuza does Ultra Type Pro Stream. This tip starts about to hit Luffy's bay, and Luffy finally unlocks the two swords on each side. And he does the biggest attack ever, which makes a big like line, and it like a line, energy line, and he literally bursted Kuza's bay, cause it literally hit Kuza's head. Kuza's like, ow, and Kuza's bay bursted, and people say it was a burst finish, and Luffy won. 3-2 launch. Okay, that was the next episode. Now, Trad starts talking. Chris says to everybody, thank you, that match was great. You did you did awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. If we can keep this up, we'll become the top team. And Trad said, yeah, okay then. Everybody, meet me up at the Bay Training Center at 9 a.m. sharp. And everybody said, okay. And they all left. Except for Vault, Shu, Zoro, Sanji. Except for Vault, Shu, Vault, Rantaro, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy said, let's have a battle royale. And Zoro said, oh, that's fine with me. Yeah, I can kick Moss heads. But, hey, who said I couldn't kick your butt? And then Silas was pretty mad. So he went to Chris and Trad, and he said, why did you not put me on the team? And then Trad said, because you make a good person for the other weak bladers. Or the other bladers that weren't picked. He was mad because he wanted to be in the battle, but he wasn't in the battle. But Chris said, it's okay. Everyone has a chance, you know. And tried to say, you gotta suck up your pride sometimes if you want to become a stronger blader. Chris expects you to be one of the... Chris thinks you're a really good blader. So I hope you can prove that. And he left, and Silas was really mad. And he saw Free walk into the forest. So he followed him. Free was there, and he was walking into this little hole where all the sun was blowing in. And Free was looking at a deer came in, and the deer made a side face. Free followed that face. Then the deer got scared because he saw Silas. Free looked back, but he didn't see Silas. Silas into his mind, why am I thinking? Why am I right here stalking somebody? He was about to go out, and then he saw Free wasn't there. And yeah, daytime hit, and it was in the food court. Luffy was eating his food. Zoro was eating his plate. Sanji was eating his plate. He also helped Aaron to cook some good meals, so everybody had a good meal. He made some rice and fried rice. And yeah, Luffy ate that up a lot, a whole bowl of it, like a huge bowl of it. And right now, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, Zoro was looking at Luffy. Was looking at Vault while he was looking at his bay. And Zoro said, "Hey, why are you looking at your bay? Aren't you gonna eat or something?" And he didn't listen. So Rantaro grabbed a little piece of his food, threw it towards him, and Vault ate the piece. Then Rantaro tricked him and saying, "Oh my God, there's a zombie right there! I'm about to eat your brains!" And Vault said, "Huh? Really?" And obviously now Rantaro said, "Oh, I fell for that. You at least stop looking at your Beyblade and start eating your food. I mean, it's gonna go cold." And Vault said, "You're probably right." So he started eating. And then Aaron came in, and she said, "Oh, come on, you can't let the food go cold, especially the fried rice. Sanji really did good cook on that." Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm eating my food, especially for a guy who's not. Who? And he started eating his food, and yeah, I was And then Kit and the blue-haired girl's little sister, came in and said, "Guys, look! BC's look at the team. It's got a high ranking." And Vault, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Rantaro were happy. And then Kit also showed the rankings. And they saw that Luffy was in the top, and a little bit far back it was Vault. Then one person between Vault. No, that was Zoro. Then it was Vault. And one person between Vault and Rantaro. Sanji. No. So it was now Vault. No, Luffy. Then it was Zoro. Then Sanji. Yeah. Then it was Vault. Then Rantaro. And like one between each other because Silas. So, yeah, and they were happy. Then Kit showed two more people, and only 2 people knew these. Only 3 people knew one of these. Only 2 people knew one of the person. 3 people knew one person, and the other one was only Luffy. It was Shanks and Shu. And Vault, Luffy and Rantaro were happy that they saw Shu rising the ranks. And they were talking about Shu that was being a good blader, the best friend, and a rival. And he said he was cool. And they liked it because they thought he was cool too. But they saw Shanks, a way cooler blader, and the leader of the bay trainer of the Bulls as being the strongest blader. Louis being the strongest blader in Europe, the strongest blader now? Oh, that hasn't been decided yet. Like, the strongest blader in the world hasn't been decided yet. But the strongest blader in Japan, that goes to Louis. The strongest blader in America, South America, in North America, that goes to Shanks. Then they said the Supreme Four, which consists of one guy that's not mentioned in any other season except for Burst, and 3 more guys that are mentioned: Louis, Shu, and Xander. And they saw in South America that Xander was rising the ranks. And he's becoming a better blader, and they're all happy. So yeah. But they saw one more person in South America, and they saw Usopp. Now, just to tell you, Usopp isn't the strongest blader around. Get it? You can get it. Because he's technically the weakest one in the crew, but he's a good, decent base. It's right behind Xander, but not strong as Xander. It's actually really weak. It's just that all the Blazers he battled really, really freaking weak. So yeah, that's why he's behind Xander, because he's like way stronger than Usopp, bae. Only Luffy and Vulcan contend with Xander. Zoro and Sanji is almost there, but they're not fully. But yeah, and that was that. Then all of them were about to go train. And then they saw Free walking towards the door, entering the rooms, and Volt said, "Free, come on, let's go train together." And he didn't listen, and he said, "Free!" But Free didn't still listen. Now, Trad and Chris were talking, and Trad said that the battle with the top one gave us a big boost in rankings. And she was sad. She had a sad look, and she said, "Yeah." And Trad said, "Care to talk why you look like that? Why you look so down?" And she said, "It's Theodore. He keeps on vulturing around Free, trying to get to him." And Free came in, busting the door open, and he said, "We need to talk, and we need to talk now." And then a friend of Stan, the guy fat who hates Luffy and Volt, still slightly hate them, and another friend was battling each other. So everybody was battling at 9 a.m. Then Luffy was walking in, going to go to the side list and ask him to battle, and he said, sorry, I was drinking my soda. But he said, "Hey, Silas, you want to go battle?" And said, "Why? Why me anyways?" And he said, "Well, I've always battled with everybody else. I never tried another person so I could hone my skills and make better moves." And he said, "Then go do it. Nothing's always about your still schemes, you little twerp. I'm not going to help you just because you want me to. It's not always about you." And Luffy was like, "Huh? I wonder why he's so mad." And Sasha, I finally figured out who that blue hair girl name is. Sasha said, "Well, the reason why he's so teased is because of the rankings. Everybody's so mad because 5 now unknown bladers came in, showed up, and become better than all of us. We're trying to get through here, you know." And Stan came in. If you want to battle, challenge, you could go for me. I mean, I do like my spot in the top, so I wouldn't want you to take it. And if you want to become one of the best, you're gonna have to take my spot, which I won't let you." And Leaf said, "Huh? Is that supposed to be battle? Because I bet you I can defeat you in one hit." And he was starting to get mad, like really mad. Somebody's saying that you can get defeated by one hit's gonna make you mad. Like even if you wouldn't care, it's gonna make you mad. That they think that you can just get defeated in one hit. So he got mad, and everybody was challenging Luffy. And Sasha's little sister said, "Wait, don't do this, Sasha." And she said, "Maybe sometimes personal business have to be worked out in the stadium." Well, are you gonna go? Said Kit. And he said, yeah, obviously. I'm gonna take back my spot in the top. And they were all challenging Luffy. But at this point, he was already stronger than Stan and his friends combined. So he battled all three of Stan's friends, and him included, and he won. And he promised to beat Stan in one hit, and you know what he did? He beat him in one hit. They were trying to fight him off, but literally Luffy beat him in one hit. And they were having a fun battle. People were starting to get mad, but also had a laugh. They're starting to have fun. Yeah. So one of Stan's friends was starting to run, just jog, about to go to the little bay center. And then he saw a car roll up, which was the Raging Bull's car. Then they saw Chris and Chad. So he hid around the pillar, behind the pillar of the entrance of the bay center. The Stan's friends saw Shanks and then a random guy, like high ranking, I guess you'd say, come out. And Chad and Chris started to sign a form for the transfer of Free De La Hoya. Because we decided it. And then Stan's friend said, guys. And then he's like, what's up, Stan? And then, what's up? And Luffy said, what's up? And he started huffing puff. And then Chad came in and said, what's all this racket? Tell us the truth. What's going on, Stan? What's going on? I heard you say that you're transferring Free to the Raging Bulls. Well, you're correct. That's a lie. Obviously not. If he was, then he would have told us. That's the thing. He wanted the kid the secret. You guys are forcing him. There's no way he would leave. Yeah, Walt said. But Chad said that was on his own decision. And Luffy started running fast towards Chris's office. And he said, why would you let Free leave? He's the only reason I beat Wakia. And you don't know what happened? He gave him motivation, advice, and all this other stuff. He's the only reason I got to battle Kuza. And he's the only reason my bay was helped. And why are you going to let him leave? And she said, well, it was on his own occurrence. And if I try to stop him, it would be a whole mess. There's no point in doing it. And Silas came in, and he said, you want to meet Free in person? And Luffy was starting to walk into the forest. Then he saw a deer. It tilted its head slightly, and it tilted its head also. And then the deer started walking away, so he followed it. He went to this weird place. It was a log, and Free sitting on it. Free looked behind him, and he said, oh, hey. Luffy said, come on, man. You're really gonna leave PC Soul? Why? I thought you loved the club. I do. I love the club to death. Almost too much. Then why would you leave? Don't you care about it? I do. Then why? That's for me to know and you to find out. And he said, okay, enough with this. If I win, you don't leave. Then he said, okay. And he stood up and he left, walking away, and he said, wait, where are you going? You're not backing down, right? And Obviously, Free said, "You can't do it in here." So he started following Free until they went to this place. Until he went to this weird place. It was like a stadium, coliseum looking type building, but small and has a stadium in the middle. It was pretty rough up, but it was still good news. So then Luffy went towards the stadium, jumping towards it. And then they started, and Luffy took out his bag launcher. Well, Free took out his bag launcher, which was the first time Free ever took out a bag launcher, because Luffy thought he didn't have one. So Luffy said, he has a bag launcher in his mind. This must be full power him. I'm gonna have to go scare second once he launches his bay. And then ready, set. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. So both bays go in the stadium. Now Free starts hitting Luffy's bay. Extraordinary power. Then he goes into the middle. And Luffy's base said, go, now gear second. So he went to gear second, his Beyblade started steaming. And he said, go. He said, gum, jet, launch. But it just makes his bay hit the walls and launch his bay towards this middle, which he could do it in fast speeds. Fast. But it didn't knock Free's bay at the slightest. It wasn't getting knocked around, but not as much. And then Luffy did a gum launcher. His bay hit the wall. Then some sword protrude out and it bounced him towards the bay. But Free pushed it back while standing in the middle. Okay, let's end this quickly. And then Luffy said, okay, let's go. They both said at the same time, Fafnir, Nagar. And both of their bays in this side. Then their moves, obviously. Little Madrat again. There you go. That. Yeah, like that. And then Fafnir's bay was a dinosaur, I think. I don't remember. So I have Fafnir's bay. And then they both charge with their final attacks. Doing igniting jet. And he did a jet. Bazooka Gatling! Whoa, it's Rocket Gatling! And then Fafnir and Free said, but I think it was Drain Claw! So Drain Claw! He did a Drain Claw, which this bay, does this weird claw motion. Drain Claw! Like this. Like that. It was. Then Luffy did this. This was the final battle. When he did the bazooka Gatling, he went into this motion. The straw hat on. This regular drip. His original drip. And he did the bazooka Gatling. It's literally like, if you know Grizzly Magnum, Grizzly Gatling, it's literally Grizzly Gatling, but in the regular bazooka way. So like this. The both bays collide, and it made the biggest bang ever. Both of the bays were there. One bay burst. Right? One bay bursted, while the other's okay. Both bays fell to the ground. Then Luffy saw it. His bay bursted. Fafnir being on the last click in that burst. He was lucky. His bay was in the last click before he was about to burst. Like the final click. So yeah. Luffy fell to the ground, sad and angry. He grabbed his bear and he put it back together, shaking. And he said, "Dang it!" And 3 left. Luffy started crying, but knew he had to suck it up. Like literally, like not like actual blow out burst and crying. Tears like you got a broke up or something, no. Like crying in angerness. He had a straw hat over his eyes. He didn't want to show that he was crying too. He didn't want to show that he was crying too free. Leaving. Free can obviously see his tears. And Free said, "Come on. I know you're not this sad. You gotta sometimes suck it up, you know." And he said to him, "Next time when we meet, you better be stronger, Luffy, if you want to win." Then Luffy came out, and everybody looked. But all they saw was Luffy crying, but not smiling at the same time. Snotting out also. In his face, shadow covering up was a straw hat. And Zoro said, "Did you win?" But when he realized he was crying, he knew he didn't win. Luffy sat down and he said to Zoro and Sanji, "He's gone. For real." And then they felt bad for Luffy. He was looking down at the floor, crying in tears as they fell in the grass. He swore to himself to become stronger than ever. Then he started walking away, said nothing to Sanji or Zoro. All he said Let's just go. Let's go. There's nothing to go back for. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, that's the end of this part. See you guys.